Wavering Alliance. Year 765 Hippocampus Rush. Connor is beyond happy to see a familiar face. He still conceals that happiness beneath another neutral facade. A typical defense mechanism when he's around people that he is not comfortable with. Although they are strangers, this woman hid behind him as if that did not matter to her anymore, looking a little on edge at the sight of Gerald. Just like how she is when they first met, a tiger prowling and clawing at the bars of its cage. Rhea cannot hide her distrust, just as badly as she is using Connor as a visual shield. Gerald is not a man with a terrifying aura, or even the body of a heavy hitter, relying on ingenuity and fast motion to stay as Connor's trustworthy swashbuckler. That dopey grin hides the skills of the best swashbuckler on his ship. Wait, why is he grinning? Gerald. Connor tries to shift the conversation to his favor. Too late. Oh, Captain, you could have just said that you were out on a date. That is definitely not what I am doing. Successfully ignored. Nope, you get all dark and gloomy saying you gotta go snoop in some gang's house. The royal pain in the ass forgets himself. Gerald romanticizes the wrong things, losing himself in some fantasy created by his crazy assumptions. The swashbuckler salutes with a lot of exaggeration in it. Don't worry, Captain. I'll make sure your little secret is safe with me. Go on with your day with the lovely little lass. The date? Rhea honestly asks behind him, squinting at Connor for answers. The question fuels Connor's agitation even more. Connor lost his patience, grabbing both of Gerald's shoulders and gripping hard. His jaw tenses, ready to berate him, if it is not for the fact that they are being chased. You'll be dusting the cannons later. Gerald, no. The Death Twisters are after us. Who? Huh? Why are the Death Twister chasing ya? Unless Gerald did a once-over on Rhea, who glares at him in automatic response. Connor didn't blame her for it. You done it and stow away the leader's wifey. Scandal. No. Connor shakes him once and hard by the shoulders, which stops Gerald's crazy speculations. We went to the mansion, killed the leader, and now they're after us. Who are you with? Really? That's it? Gerald pouts, losing interest as soon as the facts registers in his head. I was with Sid. Big guy and I were looking for some mead to take home. Got lost amongst the panic. Just was looking for him, actually. Let's find him together, and quickly. Connor motions to Rhea with a hand wave to have her follow them. She is now the one to glower, rebelliously crossing her arms over her chest and wrinkling her nose up. Not now. Sorry, lass. Captain isn't good at understanding folk. The name's Mr. Gerald Cavar. Just Gerald is fine. Happily married with 6 little ankle twisters to call me own. Gerald left out an offering handshake to the one person that seems ready to end his childbearing days. Rhea's gaze focuses hard on the hovering hand, as if she is about to catch on fire if she touches it. Eventually, after a few of Gerald's questions-riddled glances toward Connor, the woman took his hand and shook it once. Shathalik Ruse, my name is Rhea. It is nice to meet you. She retracts her hand after one singular shake, forcing a cordial smile. Ya very polite, unlike the folks here. Say how did lass like ya meet me, Captain? Gerald stands next to her, shoulders almost touching, grinning with his whole face. He's always been the jovial and friendly type. Most of the newest recruits will always say so. Well, we are being chased. Save the questions for later. Connor cannot hold his annoyance back. Gerald had increased his obnoxious behavior over the simple fact that Connor associates himself with the opposite gender. When have you not been in mortal danger, Captain? When Gerald is given a snarl from Connor, he snaps his spine straight and took the lead. Aye, off to find one big lovable sea-pup. Come, Captain and lass. Gerald bounds away. Connor follows him with the crackswoman trailing behind. There are plenty of speculations that crosses his mind which shakes his own core priorities. Why is she still helping me? And what did she do to that burnt corpse I found? Connor wants to find out what is behind that rebellious grin she flaunts, especially when she dances terribly around the truth. That is enough for him wanting to press her for more information. There are not many that could spur this interest. This feeling occurs at times when he recruits someone, always picking only the best of people to board his Nightmare Maiden. Boarding the Nightmare Maiden is a privilege that no one has, except for his crew. She had not been boarded on by an enemy ship, and it will remain that way for as long as Captain Connor can inhale the air. Is he going to give Rhea that privilege? Connor didn't spend too much time pondering. They are following Gerald at a good pace. All three of them sift through some of the panicking locals, dodging any that ran and scream away from the aimless pistol shots. Rhea kept oddly close. Despite her earlier grievances, she is more nervous out in the open even during this chaos. A normal Cracks didn't get to walk around the town without attracting attention, and she is prepped with weapons as well, birthed with features that disprove the first stereotype. All it takes is one bored Chimera Knight to come up and ask for her slave documents. Connor will have to thank the gods for giving them luck. The Chimera Knights are nowhere to be seen, and the locals are too busy running from the violence to care. Some even start pilfering the unattended vendor stands, an opportunity they can't even use. Missing out on opportunities had been his whole experience in this god's-forsaken town. He misses the sea and its bountiful channels already. Connor saw the back of an axe-wearing man in the distance, about 79 inches of thick muscles. This man is not hard to see. His height and figure stand out like a sore thumb. People like that are usually known to be half-giants around Eventland, a small subrace that branches away from the core giant people, the Grimafolk. This half-giant's outfit had to be specifically altered to fit, shirtless with a green blazer that looked like two large ones sewn into one, pants made from fabric stolen from their exploits and sewn together by Gerald's wife. By the wavy brown ponytail and the large silver axe, Connor can easily recognize him as Sid, his friendly boatswain. Sid saw them coming at him and greets as friendly as a fat Bovius. Bovius are hairy, four-legged creatures farmed for their meat and milk. They do not have necks and have wide-set mouths to feast on grass lazily. Bushy eyebrows cover their eyes and tusks jutted out their red lips, which made them look like they smile. Pretty friendly creatures, and so domesticated that they do not waltz around the wilderness anymore. The only big difference is that Sid is not lazy. Those giant muscles of his require a lot of effort on his side, with his profession as a boatswain helping build his physique. And he loves to arm wrestle with anyone on the ship. Loves his job anchoring the ship just as much. Gerald. Captain. Random lass. Sid hums happily, even at Rhea, who might have forgotten to be polite, and gawks at the sight of Sid. It's a quite common reaction when half-giants aren't a normal encounter either. Big guy, why you run off from me like that? Gerald whines, punching the big brute at his hardened biceps. It didn't come as a surprise that punch didn't hurt Sid. The boatswain scratches a forefinger on his shadowed chin line. Well, I saw a match between a man and a kango. I jumped in. Sid, Gerald, death twisters are chasing us. Connor reminded them, finding that any tale of Sid's could wait another time. Darn, I was wondering what he did. Rhea mutters out loud, blushing when she realizes it. Connor snaps his attention at her. She shifts her face away. The death twisters? Really? Sid's grin grew, brandishing his axe. He didn't have any concerns riddle in his voice or posture, not even having the name of the stranger in their midst. Where? We will post at the harbor where we have the upper advantage. Together we should be able to handle it. The barrage of gunshots are now a lot closer, behind them all. Sid moves towards the sound, waving his axe around. I love a challenge, roars Sid, showing his true battle-hungry side. Big guy, are you even listening to the captain? Gerald grabs the half-giant by the thick biceps and tried to weigh Sid down. His attempt is futile. Sid easily drags Gerald a foot away. The battle will be grand at the harbor, Sid. Come now, Connor snaps, trying to sell the activity to him, since the big child isn't picky. Never is, even when they were both children on the ship, following their guardians around like cuckoos. Oh, okay, Captain. Sid pouts, now picking up Gerald in one arm and taking him away. Let's go to the ship then. Put me down? Gerald yelps, did not work to stop this giant child. Sid is jogging away with a helpless Gerald in one arm. Rhea chokes on her laughter. He is like a big kid. He just turned 19, Connor grumbles, rubbing his temples and following the members of his crew. 19? Rhea's exclamation did not shock him. Sid neither acts nor looks his age, a conflicting individual, but Connor won't trade him for anyone. This is his crew, and he will stick by them for as long as they stay loyal to him. They seem nice. Rhea mumbles something else she did not mean to say out in the open, avoiding Connor's speculative glare again. She had a weird way of complimenting people, being embarrassed every time she did so. Interesting how she won't openly compliment someone to their face, like she did for Connor when the vicar badmouthed about Connor and his profession. Quite strange. Again, The gunshots are getting closer and won't give Connor a breath to investigate. The group increase their pace. The captain can trust Sid to lead the way, but the sight of the sails still comforts Connor. The ground is even sandier in consistency. The first ship they saw is not theirs. It belonged to a market vendor based on the size of it. He can see his brig further down. "Is that your ship?" Rhea asks, filtered clean from any animosity. Connor takes offense anyway. No. The temptation to correct her is intense, but it won't work on someone without any knowledge of ships. There is no need for it when the Nightmare Maiden is just a few jogging paces away. The four of them jog there in no time, reaching Nightmare Maiden. Her wood is made of black charred elderwood which can withstand damage from mortar rounds. The helm and her wings are tucked away due to being at the dock, but it didn't make her any less beautiful. She is known to be the fastest ship around, and aid his crew to slip through many of their enemies and conquered them. "That is your ship." This time it is a statement from Rhea, rather than a question. Sounds a lot better than the atrocious inquiry she asked breathes ago. Connor nods once to confirm. His face is stoic, but it didn't shake away the pride he had towards his own ship. Every other ship in this port is insignificant compared to the Nightmare Maiden, and her outline stands out in Manuk's rays. Sid halts before the ship, dropping Gerald on his own feet. The swashbuckler pats away the wrinkles of his clothes, grumbling the whole time. Something about not being some babe to carry. "Stay and keep watch." Connor marches past those two, forgetting that Rhea is right behind him, who then follows him all the way to the ramp of the ship. Aye, aye. Connor didn't even notice Rhea's reaction when she pauses just before the foot of the ramp, until her voice picks up to say, "I will wait here." Connor froze, both confused and annoyed, thinking of a million reasons why she isn't just following him up to his ship. He stuffs it down a mental chest for later to ask. Death Twisters are closing in. She can easily keep a lookout with the other two. Connor moves up the ramp, and his assigned guards greet him there. He began barking his orders then. "Hands, let us show the Death Twisters what we are made of." The roars of his crew are music to his ears. The crew members are now getting set up for a potential all-out brawl.